It's going down this weekend. If y'all ain't get y'all ticket, y'all gonna be ass out. Y'all missing out. You already see what it is. It's going down. The final round, the final weekend is going down. Professor James Smalls, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, okay? Professor and Dr. Ranoko Rashidi. We got the blue pill, the red pill in Kambata, and the Yoga Moon Master will be in the building. It's all going down on November the 11th. Make no mistake about it. You want to be in the building. If you want some contact information, 347-496-1022. That is 347-496-1022. If you are in the New York area, make sure you get there. The doors open up at 1 p.m. sharp, family. And this is going down in Court Street in Brooklyn, New York. The event starts and kicks off at 2 o'clock sharp. Make no mistake about it. You want to make sure you get up in there. St. Francis College. And it is what it is. And guess what? This has never been done before. Buy one ticket. Guess what? You could bring your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your family member in for free. If you buy one ticket, you could bring somebody up in there for free, y'all. You can't beat that with a baseball bat. I've never done that. And I might do it again. I might end up doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to promote, my brother King Simon. Salute to you, my brother. So that's a good way to promote. Good way. And yeah, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that.
Yo, sir.
What's going on, man? Are you ready, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm sorry, man. I had to get some stuff situated on my end. I had to get this kid situated. But yeah, man.
Yes. Yes, brother.
Oh, I said, let's get it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. So you by yourself, or it's going to be you and somebody else?
It's going to be me and another brother coming on. He'll be on the next 5 minutes.
All right. Come on. Let's go live, man. Let the people see who you are so we can go and get it in.
I'll do it briefly. I'm not going to go live the whole time by showing my camera. So
we just want to see who we talking to, brother. There you go.
No problem,
you ain't afraid, brother. We want to make sure you're not one of them trolls that's scared, that's high. And you look just like a powerful African, brother, with them locks, man. Look at you, man.
Nah, I ain't no African got no locks. I look like an Aboriginal.
You said Africans don't have locks, brother?
No, not without mud in it.
Oh, come on, man. All right, it's on you, brother. Let's go. Take it from there, family. Peace and black power. We are here with the Aborigines movement today, and we're going to make history plain with these brothers right here. But we're going to give them the floor and let them do what they do. So, my brother, it's on you, man. Take it away. Peace.
Peace, man. I want to say halito, peace, love, and light. Henny Owaste to all the Aborigines and all the people in the chat. Much love and blessings, and appreciate you, Sarnetta, for giving us the opportunity to come on here to be able to implement some of my information. Let's start off last night where I started at. I made a claim about the Corral Supe. We all been hearing about it. I don't know if anybody did their research, but Corral Supe is arguably the oldest city in the world. And within that city, they have some of the oldest structures, some dated at 3,000 years old, right? Which predates any other structures in Egypt, right? No knock to Egypt, but all we're trying to say is this is what the information is saying. This is not what I'm saying. This is what the archaeologist and the anthropologist is saying, which is Ruth Shady and John Haas. And just for the and just so I can screen share just a little bit, I'll let the people see exactly what I'm talking about dealing with the city of Corral Supe. So let's get that going. Okay, here we go. You see this scarce city of Corral Supe. The 5,000 euros, 626 hectare archaeologist site of the scarce city of Corral Supe is saturated on a dry desert terrace overlooking the green valley of the Supe River. It dates back to the late Archaic period of the Central Indies and is the oldest century of the civilization in the Americas. especially well preserved, and the site is impressive in terms of its design. So what it's saying is it shows a unique architect that's not really implemented that you see on the eastern hemisphere, like you see in Egypt. The pyramids that we got use a totally different structure. We use a totally different science of building them, and we even use different materials of building it. 70% of the structures in North America is built out of adobe. And for those who are not familiar with adobe is, I will be going in later on to explain exactly what adobe is. But as we see right here, this is a 5,000 year old city in the Americas that can't be nothing other than the oldest in the Americas and arguably the oldest in the city. And what we want the Afrocentric guys to understand is Egypt cannot be the oldest when we got a city that's 5,000. When I believe that the third dynasty is the first time frame that we get from Egyptian architect. So, and that's just dealing with the empirical data of what we got right now. So, as we move on, we got to understand with these pyramids being the oldest pyramids, that means these people was implementing mathematics and science before the African. Before the African. Now, what I'm saying is, you can't believe that the people who built these structures are straight hair Mongoloid Indians who y'all call natives. That's not the people who built those. Those people just came over here recently. And we can prove that through different mirrors and Bonaparte mirrors. So as we go on, I'm gonna show you what the people would have looked like in America during that time period. I'm just give y'all a few little glimpse, good little glimpse of what we got going on. So yeah, people, here we go. This is one of them right here. This is one of the memes of the people that you see of North America. You can see the dark complexion. You can see how you can easily get them confused with an African. You see the afro. You see the big nose. You see the patterns that they wear. You see what I'm saying? This is the same culture that has been passed on, maybe diluted throughout time. We have been having genocide committed against our people for the longest of times. So we must understand that our people was brown and they was melanated. There was not straight hair Mongoloids who created. These was brothers who you can easily misidentified as African when they are the indigenous American. Okay, these are from the Bonaparte mirrors for people that don't understand. So we just got to understand who we are dealing with when we're dealing with this information. We are the autonomous people. We're not saying that we have a problem with Africa. No, that's never been our animosity, and that's never been our MO. We just want to say, well, doing the genealogy and looking back and dealing with archaeology, our people are finding out that they are more connected with the indigenous people. That's who they're finding. They seeing the culture implemented. They seeing the styles implemented. They even seeing the language implemented. I mean, even urban community was not urbanly created in Africa. It was created in the Americas, which is some of the biggest cultures that's been implemented throughout the world. So, as we move on, we also made a claim about we have the most pyramids, and within that city of El Mirador of Guatemala, one of the biggest structures dealing with mass, I mean largest by mass, is La Danta, which is the world's largest pyramid. And the leading archaeologist of the site would be Dr. Richard Hansen. He's been there for 41 years. I think he's done found 52 of the structures and excavated roughly about 37. Okay, so that's just what we're gonna deal with. As we go in here, we can see El Mirador, the lost city of the Maya, now overgrown by a jungle. The ancient site was once the thriving capital of the Mayan civilization. Now, what that's saying is This site in particular rewrites history because it's pre-classic Mayan. They never had no archaeologist site, no evidence of Mayan pre-classic period. So this is what you're looking at, pre-classic period. Mayan itself is one of the largest in the world. It was abandoned 2,000 years ago, says Dr. Richard Hansen, just like Pompeii. And we know how Pompeii went down, but the difference between Pompeii is that out of this one particular site structure that you see at the site, there's 60,000 more in this one dense area of jungle. 60,000 structures. Have y'all ever heard of anything like that implemented in Africa? I don't think so. So when you're looking at 60,000 structures that's been implemented in one area, it's showing you that these people was connected with the science and mathematics of building. Not only that, thriving with agriculture as well. We got to understand that plays a big part of sustaining a civilization. Science, building, agriculture. And then in the middle of that, you got irrigation, the science of ecology. But let's move on. We can deal with uh, other things that's part of our culture. Okay, what's part of your culture that the Aborigines created? Well, what's something that we still play today, Sanetta? I'm pretty sure you've been watching them basketball games. You watch a little basketball. And we know that basketball is a famous sport that we all enjoy to watch, which was implemented and created here in the Americas. Yeah, it was implemented here in the Americas, and we're gonna get into that right now. Basketball, 1000 BC, Mesoamerican, North American, Southwestern culture. Basketball. Let me zoom this up just a little bit for you guys. All right, here we go. Basketball, a team sport which points are scored by throwing a rubber ball through a hoop, is an all-American game. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hold on just a second. Which is an all-American game that has been implemented throughout the Americas since the beginning of time. And it talks about how the Mayan. Let me get back to it. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, here we go. Like I said, is a rubber ball that a hoop that through a hoop, and is the all-American game that is most people believe was invented about 100 years ago. And the truth is, it was played by American Indians about 3,000 years ago, roughly around the same time that Ladanta was ending. The Olmec, who lived in what is now what is now southern Mexico and Central America from the 1700s to 400 BCE, originated the game because of latex producing trees grew in their area, and they had developed the technology to create balls made from rubber, which eventually conspired to what we call basketball. And we know that dominantly the American Negro dominates basketball over the African, over the Asian, over the European, okay? Because this sport is encoded in our DNA. This is something that has been passed down from time after time. So we're gonna move down just a little more. What are we going to talk about now? Okay, let's get to agriculture. Agriculture. I'm going to screen share this as well. Peace, brother A1. Good to have you in here, man. Good to see you, brother. Let's move on just a little bit for you guys. Agriculture. 8,000 to 7,000 BC. Okay, that'll be roughly about 10 to 9,000 years ago, right? Mesoamerican, South American Andre, and tropical forests, North American Southeast, Northeast, and Southwest cultures. That means pretty much the whole America implemented agriculture. Agriculture is the science of cultivating the soil to produce crops arose independently in in 4 areas around the world. Two of them is in the Western Hemisphere in Meso and South America where it was first implemented. Do you see this? And based on corn, we know that the Egyptians love corn. They couldn't have got it from nowhere else because it don't grow there. It had to be cultivated. Squash and beans began in the floodplain in the Tehucan Valley. Excuse me for slaughtering these words. Who is what is now Mexico in about 8,000 to 7,000 BCE. About the same time, Maya and sweet potato cultivations arose in the tropical forest of what is now Brazil and Guatemala. We just got done talking about Guatemala. And potato based farming developed in the mountain highlands of the West, in the Indies is what is now Peru. Okay, so we're showing you that agriculture on several different levels was implemented throughout the Americas long before it was even implemented in other parts of the world. A1, you got something you want to go in with, brother? Okay, I'll keep moving.
No, I'm right here. Just let me just keep loading. I got a bunch of stuff pulled up.
You all right?
All right, A1, you're gonna have to show yourself. I noticed that all the Aborigines be hiding, man. Y'all can't be hiding. You're gonna have to show yourself. We need to know who we talking to, brother.
My brother, listen.
I don't know if you the police. I don't know if you the CIA. I don't know. I just want to see who we dealing with. That's all.
My brother, listen.
Yes, sir.
I go in deep on my channel. I talk about all ethnicities, so I got a lot to lose as far as my employment and people who see me on a daily basis. But trust and believe, I done been to at least six. I done been to at least 6 of your lectures or your
Okay. All right. Go ahead, brother. Enough said. I got you. I respect that. Go ahead, brother. We gotta protect our brothers, man. They gotta. We gotta work. We gotta protect our fam. If that's how you going, we gotta protect that. So
Right. Same here. But yeah, let's keep it moving a little bit. Okay. Matt Galari, right? 5,000 to 4,000 BCE. The term metallurgy refers to the science of extracting metals from the ore, purifying them, and making an object from them. The Paleo Indians of the northern Great Lakes area were the first American Indians known to have worked with metal during the approximately 6 to 7,000 years ago, according to Susan Hazen Hammond, author of the Timelines of Native American History. Okay, they misquoted Native Americans. You'll see a lot of people using that term fictitiously. They are the first metal workers in the world. So, let's just stop for a second. These are the first metal workers in the world. Now, dealing with the pyramids in Egypt, it had to take metal tools to work on them. Where did the science of building your tools to work on your structure come from? It all relies in America. In indigenous cultures, groups in South America, Mesoamerican, and North American, Arctic also practice the same thing. For the most part, American Indians did not work with iron because the deposits were not easily accessible. So what it's showing you is we was applying ourselves by extracting a unique technique to get precious minerals and mold them into jewelry, tools, baskets, helmets, whatever the case may be. We was working with the metal. We learned how to manipulate it. That's the science that was first implemented here in America. And just to go down I'm not gonna read all that and bore y'all to death, but I will go down and give y'all the sources for further reading. Okay, I'm gonna highlight them right here. This is every source. Every time I make a claim, it will have a source to go with it. There you go. I got it highlighted for you guys that's looking in the chats. You can write it down, double check it. Don't take my word for it at all. So Saab, let's talk about something else, man. Let's talk about. I'm just gonna talk about these mummies for a second. You know, we all heard about the famous mummies in Egypt. You know, matter of fact, let's read this article. Let's just read it. Let's just read it. 5,000 BC, roughly about 7,000 years ago. Mummies, South American, Andre, and Mesoamerican culture. Mummies are bodies, are dead bodies that has been involved in wrapping with layers of fabric in order to preserve them. Although the ancient Egyptians are the best known mummy makers, the ancient Chinkaro, who lived in what is now Chile, made mummies around 5,000 BC. Okay, that's 7,000 years ago. The Egyptians are believed to have begun mummifying bodies about the time of the first dynasty, about 3,100 BC. Okay, so we're looking at about a 2,000 year difference. In addition to mummifying adults and children, the Chinkara also mummify fetuses and embryo. Okay, what we're looking at is splicing. We dealing with a science of genetics that we even mummifying the unborn, a undeveloped child. Okay, this is what it talks about. Fetuses and embryos. The Maoc, who culture flourished in the Ande regions of South America from about 200 BC, made mummies. Let me see. Now scroll down. As wrapping them in exquisite woven burial cloths. Okay, so it's just showing you that the implemented of even simply wrapping your loved ones in trying to preserve their bodies for future scientists to be able to study them was implemented in America first, roughly about 2,000 years before the Egyptians even thought about it. Okay, that's what we're dealing with right now. Hey, when you got something you want to say, brother? If not, I move on. Hey, one, you hear, brother? Hey, you got some weird dude in here, so I don't know who that is, bro.
How did he get the link? The only way he get the link is from one of y'all probably. How did he get the link?
Nah, he didn't get the link from us, bro. I don't even know how to do all that shit.
Oh,
Oh, who
okay.
you talking about? Somebody just came in. Yeah, I don't know who that was, but
Oh, okay. Damn, I'll get him out of here then. I'll make sure he get out of here. He gonna
nah,
probably pop up again.
I had my I muted my mic, so I wasn't able to respond as fast as I want to. But yeah, man. And I mean, everything the brother's saying accurate, man. And I just want to I got a lot of stuff I wanted to share. I don't know how much time we got, but if I don't get a chance to share it, I mean, you can always subscribe to Tonsonless One, to my YouTube channel. I got over 15,000 subscribers. I show you most of the research verbatim. I show you pictures as well as numerous articles and numerous literature in which what the people said that the people look like that was here. But I'm just going to go on this. I'm just going to tell you something, right? I'm not going to give away everything today, but I will just tell you this much. We live in North America, right? Well, most people is under the assumption is this. We under the assumption that the English, the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the French all was in cahoots with each other. That's not true. That's the furthest things from the truth. In fact, the English where we live at in North America, I speak English. So I was colonized by the English. England, and I'm gonna tell you this: the English did not bring any Africans to North America. The people who they brought to North America was already Negroes who was in the West Indies, that when they took over these certain colonies that's in the West Indies, the Spanish already was calling these people Negroes. When Columbus got to the island of Espanol, he was already calling the Arawak people who was there, he was calling them Negroes. You understand what I'm saying? So when the English get there, the only reason why the English was calling us niggers and Negroes, because the Spanish, when they took these colonies from the Spanish was already calling the Indians dead Negroes. The Negro is not an English word. So no one ever asked themselves, well, hold up. Why do the English call us Negroes? Because when the English took over these colonies from the Spaniards was already calling them Negroes. When Columbus got to the island of Espanol, he clearly says that I can get these people to wear clothes and assimilate into our society, and I could get them to do whatever I want them to do. This is what he clearly states. He takes back 1,500 people, in which you see in a book called Slave from Seville. Now let me share my screen real quick. Y'all with me right now? All right, so let me see. I am sharing my screen right now. Let me just give me a second.
Yeah, we heard.
All right, so just let me know. Y'all can see this. This is North American Indian timeline, 1492 to 1999. All right, let me just open up a little bit. Open this up a little bit. All right, so here we go right here. So it says 1492. All right, I'm not Dr. Seuss, okay? So I will probably be making some grammatical errors as far as mispronunciation, but guess what? I'm gonna get this done as best as I can. It say from their nakedness, Columbus inferred that the native people to be an inferior race. Columbus wrote of the Indians he encountered. They all go around naked as their mother bore them. Also, the women, however, he noted that they could easily be commanded. And made to work and sew and do whatever might be needed to build towns. And he taught. No, and be taught to wear clothes and adapt our ways. Although Columbus also wrote they are of the best people in the world and above all the gentlest, he recorded his first encounter between the Europeans and the New World Indians was filled with accounts of enslavement, murder, and rape. All right, now check this out. This is right here. This is an article. Well, I got two articles right here. Let me go to this one right here. This is from Lost Feather. This is basically the Washita newspaper article right here, right? And I got another article to back this up. So if you want to go in, all right, now right here, it says, what about the African slave trade? It say much of the so-called African slave trade was fabricated. It said there was no trade. An independent source showing that the so-called Indians on the eastern seaboard called Terra Nova was Moors. Now, I'm going to show you some images showing you that when the English came here, they was calling us Moors as well. It say it's a book called Africans and Native Americans, Jack Ford. He shows in the book how many so-called Native Americans were sold into slavery in Africa and Europe. This is the opposite direction which we was taught the slave trade went in. The Native Americans and Indians were also classified as Negroes and blacks in the slave books of Seville, Spain, and elsewhere. On page 29, he said he talks about slave from Terra Nova show up on the slave market. It say, for example, in Valencia. Now, when he go ahead, he talk about Miguel Main, 1505, Juan and Pedro, 1507, Antonio and Juan or Marco in 1515, and Ali. And it say now Metcor. It's in 1516 Catalina. They were all classified as Negroes. If they was brought here, if they was brought to North America around 1619 or even 1555, for that matter, then how were they taking slaves from Newfoundland to Europe? Keep in mind that one of the Native Americans even had a name even had the name Ali. Now that's just now we could easily people going try to refute that, but when you touch on, let me see, I'm just trying to find exactly right here. Hold on, let me see something. All right, right here. It say Columbus became the first man known in history to send the first slaves across to the Atlantic. Other nations rushed to eliminate, to basically copy. It say in 1501, the Portuguese began to deport the Buytak Indians to Cape Verde as slaves. The Black Indian slavery destroyed the Indian nation of the Naschat and Yamasee. Now, keep in mind, the French took the Naschat, which the Naschat was in Louisiana, Mississippi. The French took them to Haiti, which is the island of Espanol. So most of the Haitians came from the Louisiana, Mississippi area. It say the Yamasee and the Pequot became, because of this, the African slave raid took place in 1505 and was spearheaded by Columbus' son. When the Moor Indians of America began dying and committing suicide, and labor was replaced with slaves from Sahara and West Africa. Now, I kind of got a problem with that because, like I told you, in North America here, I know that the Europeans was not going back and forth to Africa, because for understand this, right? In North America, the English was warming with the Spanish and Portuguese, for number one, right? So for them to go to Africa, they had to pass them countries. So if they warming with them, how was they going past them countries, grabbing people off of West Africa and then shooting across the Atlantic Ocean? They didn't have enough supplies or resources to do that. So I know for sure when they come here, they came here for the land and for the riches, and all they did was enslave the people here. And how do you prove that? Because when you go back here, all right, we're gonna go down to 1637 real quick. We're gonna go right here. All right, this 1621. It say one of the first treaties between the colonists and Native Americans is signed, and the Plymouth Pilgrim enact a peace pact with the Wapanaki tribe with the aid of Squanto. Now, Squanto was one of the first people or first Aborigines that was taken from North America, which he was in the Massachusetts area in 1614, and he found his way back in 1619. So you get two 1619 stories. The other 1619 stories is a captured vessel with John Hawkins and Sir Francis Drake, which these was basically ship robbers. They was robbing the Spanish for gold, and what they kept finding was Negroes on the boat, because the Spanish was taking the so-called Arawak Negroes from the Caribbean and taking them back to Spain. Now check this out. Now as we go down, 1637, it's saying the colony of Massachusetts, the Pink.
Yo, my man. I'm sorry, brother, but I gotta end this stream right now. I got some freaks that's pawn bombing me right now. I just got some pictures from my man. See, we don't see it, but all the people can see it. I just got pictures from my man to show you this crazy shit, man. And they're gonna try to get my shit taken down. They're gonna strip my channel for this. They palm bombing me. For some reason, they got the link. They copying the link from somebody.
All right, go ahead, shut it down.
So then I gotta shut it down, and I'll send you the picture so you'll see that. You're gonna see it. I ain't even see the shit, but you're gonna see it. And we're gonna probably do something else on my other channel.
Phone?
Yeah.